pass it that one. Okay, yeah, so slope, what you do is you find a couple points on the line that you can identify. And the rise is how much is it going up, or in this case down, from here to here. So the rise on this one would be -3. The run is how much is it going over, +3. So the slope is, on this line would be -3 over 3, which reduces to -1. So -1 slope. Okay. Do you guys know what these points are called where the line hits the x-axis and y-axis? Called the x-intercepts, for the where it hits the x-axis. Intercept, you know, like a missile intercepts the plane, blows it up. It's where it hits at. This would be the Y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, you guys remember this stuff? Is it all coming back now? A little fuzzy. We never knew it in the first place. Okay, on page 68, number 1. Huh? Oh, did I put the, yeah, I said the wrong number. Page 66, number 1. It says, find the x and y intercepts of each equation's graph. That doesn't mean we have to graph it. What are the coordinates of this intercept right here? What's the coordinates of this point?
3, 0.
3, 0. Okay. What's the coordinates of this point? 4, 0, 5, 0. What do all x-intercepts, what do they all have?
0 and the y.
They have a y value of 0. What's the coordinate of the y-intercept?
0,
0, 3. This was the slope, not the...
Could you also just put
Okay, this would be 0, 4, 0, 5. So what do all y-intercepts have in common? They have an x value of 0. So all y-intercepts have an x value of 0. All x-intercepts have a y value of 0. So on number 1, we don't need to graph this to figure it out. To find, let's see, they asked for the x-intercept first? Yes. To find the x-intercept, all I have to do is make the y value 0 and solve that for x. X equals 5.
Well, why was it y?
Well, I just explained it up here. On x-intercepts, the y value is always 0. So if I just put 0 in for y in the equation, that will tell me the x-intercept. So if x is, when y is 0, x is 5. So you could say the x-intercept is 5, or you could say the x-intercept is at 5, 0. Okay, and then for the y-intercept, guess what?
Swap it here.
You make the x value 0. So 0 plus y equals 5. So when x is 0, what's the y value going to equal? 5. Y equals 5. So the y-intercept is at 0, 5.
Did you do 2?
No. Number 3. Same thing. We got to think a little bit more on this one. X minus 4y equals 2. Okay. So I'm going to find the x-intercept first. So what do I need to do?
Make y 0.
Make the y value 0. What is 4 times 0?
0.
0. So x minus 0 equals 2. So what must x be in this case? 2. So when y is 0, x is 2. That's the x-intercept. That's where it's going to hit the x-axis. Okay, and then to find the y-intercept, what do I need to do?
0 minus 4y.
Put 0 in for x. So, where's that? 0 minus 4y equals 2. Well, the 0 doesn't really do anything, right? I don't really need that. But how do I solve this for y?
-2.
No?
Just divide by 1.
Divide by -4. We're not dividing by 2, we're dividing by -4. What's 2 divided by -4? No. -half. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 divided by 4. It's like if you had 2 cookies and you need to split it among 4 people, how much cookie does each person get? 1/2. anyway, it's negative 1/2. So, we made the x value 0, the y value is negative 1/2.
Can we just put x equals and y
Yeah, I guess that's fine. Some books will just say the x-intercept is 4, or the y-intercept is 2, or whatever. They won't write it as 2 coordinates, but it's kind of good to think of it as 2 coordinates, so you know like what we're talking about on the graph. Number 5. Okay, write each equation in function notation, then state the slope and y-intercept. Okay. Before I get onto that, let's talk about slope-intercept form. So way back in Algebra 1, we had equations that look like this. Do you guys remember this? It's called an equation that's written in slope-intercept form. When you have y by itself over here, here's the general way it looks. Y equals mx plus b. You guys remember that? Slope-intercept form. The m, the number in front of the x, always tells us the what? The slope. The -5 out here tells us the what? The y-intercept, where it hits the y-axis. And we would use that information to graph it. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. So you can write these in function form by just replacing the y with f of x. So basically when they say function form, they mean get y by itself over here and then just turn it into an f of x. Does that make sense? So we'll do an example on number 5. So on number 5, it's x minus y equals 13. Okay, I want to solve for y. I want to get y by itself like this, these equations over here. So how do I get y by itself here?
Well,
Minus the x. Oops. So that goes away. I get negative y. Okay, this is 13 minus x, but to have it in slope-intercept form, I'm going to switch the order. I'm going to put the minus x in front of the positive 13. Do I have y by itself yet? No. It's got a negative on it, or a negative 1 on it, so I need to divide everything by negative 1 on both sides. In other words, I need to switch all the signs. So it'll be y equals x minus 13.
So f
Okay.
of x equals
Yes.
x.
Turn into function form, I just replace the y with f of x. Those are the same thing. Okay. They had 2 more questions on this. What is the slope of this thing?
1.
Right. Since there is no number in front of the x, that means there's an invisible 1 right there. So the slope, usually we use m to represent slope. I have no idea why, but it's a convention, so I'll do that. And what's the y-intercept? Negative 13.
Should we just put y or b?
Yeah, that's fine. Y would not be a very good way to write it, but B would be a pretty good way to write it, yeah. Because Y can be a lot of things, but there is only one Y-intercept. Alright, darn it. I don't want the graph paper yet. Okay. Number 7, same thing. 3x minus 2y equals 11. Alright, just remembered something. Alright, so I'm supposed to change it into function form, which is basically slope-intercept form. What did I do first last time? Yes, I'm trying to get y by itself. She said minus 3x, which is correct. trying to get y by itself. Now what do I do? I'm trying to get y by itself, so how do I get rid of the negative 2? Right. Okay, here's the thing though, you can't just divide one thing by negative 2, everything gets divided by negative 2. Every term.
Others, everything on the other side equals.
So it's y equals, or maybe I'll go ahead and turn this into, I'll skip that part. I'll go ahead and turn this into f of x equals. Okay, what is negative 3 divided by negative 2? Positive 3 over 2 x. And what's 11 over negative 2? It's just negative 11 over 2, or negative 5.5. But we can just leave it like that.
And that's the answer.
Yes. What is the slope of this line? 3 over 2, the number in front of the x. What is the y-intercept of the line?
Negative 11 over 2.
Negative 11 halves. So really all three of those are the answer. Alright, you guys are, we'll work on this on Monday. You guys are dismissed, you got a meeting in Mr. Smith's room. All juniors. You're all juniors here, right?
No.
Oh, you're not junior?
No.
Alright. You have to hang out, you gotta.
I forgot about this. I was so
Get
excited.
big time.